I couldn't hold this in. I couldn't hold this in, not one bit. Y'all see the title? This is a trigger, no warning. This is no warning at all. This is just straight trigger, no pun intended. All right, so we already went over September 15th, which is today right now. It's 12:10 a.m. where I am. I already went over the Descendant in Taurus in the 7th house. Go ahead and watch that or not. But here we go with what I would appear to think the finale. The Ascendant is in Scorpio at 1 degree in the 1st house. As we commonly know, the Ascendant in astrology reveals the glasses with lens in which you perceive the world, but also how others view you. To backtrack just a bit, with the Descendant in Taurus, you were being equipped in all things that we usually need from our mother in order to survive, right? Especially in young age, but in life, to succeed in life, when we are ready to branch off and to be independent. With the Descendant in Taurus, we came to the understanding that this was being provided for you at this time. It was also understood that a strong will and wisdom was being developed and nurtured at this time as well. Like wild animals, they instinctively know how to hunt, survive, and thrive in the wilderness, but they need their mother to teach and show them. They need their mother to build up their strength, their will, and to know about the hidden depths, the traps, their predators, and how to outsmart and or defeat them. It is never about who you can see in broad daylight. The real danger comes at night, and that was a bar. To compare most humans, especially in modern times, they fall victim to traps in the wilderness being life, because they were never taught or refused to take heed to the real dangers that life presents. Most people are only concerned with what they can see, and I personally know that looks are deceiving. People, places, and things are deceiving. All that glitters was never gold, but most fall victim to the gold. In the wilderness, prey in broad daylight appear to be an easy catch, but seldom are they ever. Just watch the Animal Planet. They're always watching. There's someone always watching. An animal, a person, a place, a thing is always watching in the shadows, in the depths. There are always secrets, a catch or claws hidden in plain sight. Most fear the dark, but to me, it's authentic. What should really be feared is the light and all things in that light, because like the sun, you are blinded by the light. In the dark, your eyes adjust and you can sense more. You can sense the truth. When I worked in customer service, it was never about what was being spoken, but more so what wasn't. The devil be in the details, and most overlook those details. Most want to be ignorant to those details. When you sign up for that credit card, you're just focused on the credit limit. Very seldom does anyone read the terms and conditions that are blatantly in your face, and that's where the devil, the traps, and the tricks reside. Why do you think lawyers get paid so much? Because they're willing and capable to read in between the lines and read the details. Most humans are capable of reading in between the lines and the details, but they're too lazy to do so. Most want the shiny new car or person and overlook the details. They so desperately want to believe the appearances. Even bullies, they love picking on the silent one. The silent one appears weak and alone, but that's usually when you find out that the silent one has more power and allies that meets the surface. And so, with all of that being said, with the Ascendant in Scorpio in the 1st house, it's clear to say that you have clear vision about life, aka the wilderness. Considering the tools, lessons, and wisdom you've been given and applied, by those same hidden forces that we discussed in the descendant in Taurus in the 7th house. That strong will that was developed or has been developed, aka those strong innate senses that have been developed, is what others see with the Ascendant in Scorpio at this time. In the Dark Knight movie, Bane was a powerhouse, undefeated, and he was raised and molded by the darkness. Bane was initiated in the darkness. We are all born from the void, aka the darkness. However, most live their life in denial of the dark and of their darkness. They fear darkness and swear, love and light only, which is why they fall privy to the traps, scandals, lies, and deceit in the lightness. They are easy prey, and they become such willingly. In their distorted, egotistical mind, they think that they have dominion, power, and jurisdiction over those silent, introverted, and alone types, only to find out when it's too late that they have been blinded by their egotistical truths. Personally, my ascendant has progressed into Scorpio in the 1st house, and natally, I have my Pluto in Scorpio in the 1st house. In astrology, we would call this a conjunction. When I had my ascendant in Libra, I learned a lot about the world and the people within it. I was always bullied, taken advantage of, lied to, and led into traps by people that I thought I could trust based on my ignorance of appearances. My Pluto in Scorpio in the 1st house has always stung me in the ass, not them. With the Ascendant in Scorpio in the 1st house conjuncting my Pluto in the Scorpio in the 1st house, any and everyone who tries to deceive me now is getting stung and poisoned. And I just want to give you a quick little story time, and then we'll get into the real nitty of the gritty. There was a comment that was left yesterday when I posted the crow call. And in the beginning, I was going on and on about why I call people out, and basically just saying that my feelings are never hurt. I don't care. I just have to call it out because that's like an exorcist. You have to call out the spirit. You have to call out the spirit in order to eradicate it, to exorcise it out, right? That's why you guys use sage and things like that to clear the space and the energy. Well, I said that in the beginning, and someone left a comment. I didn't read the full comment. I just read the first little sentence, and she got blocked. But she was just like, yes, you do care. Yes, you do care because, and then she got blocked after I saw that right there. And this, I'm pretty sure you're watching, homegirl, but for any of my enemies, let's get into the nitty of the gritty. The Ascendant in Scorpio at 1 degree is within the 1st decan that Pluto rules. This indicates that its true strength and power, it's at its true strength, power, and it's at its home. Imagine an intruder coming to your home and you shoot them dead. In some states, but generally, you have the advantage and you have the merit to shoot that motherfucker dead. When we watch sports, your team is playing at their home field. They have an advantage and they have a stronger support system from their fans. All in all, it's dangerous business messing with someone at their home, their family, or whatever else someone claims as theirs. The 1st decan of Scorpio is Pluto energy. It's the Tower and the Death card and tarot energy. When those cards come out in tarot readings, most want to click off the video or try to make love and light, no pun intended, of the situation and the energy that those cards really entail. No pun intended. Scorpio energy, the tail that stings. Entail, no pun intended. Obsession, grief, loss, and suffering is experienced in the 1st decan of Scorpio, but also loyalty, commitment, intensity, secrets, romance, and relationships. So in conclusion, anyone who violates, deceives, betrays, disrespects, steals, or harms you in any way, whether that be in the past, the present, or the future, will indeed suffer greatly. Ask me why. Because like we mentioned in the descendant in Taurus, it was clear that hidden forces were protecting and providing for you. Those hidden forces are committed and loyal to you as you are to them. Growing up, my mother always said, I brought you in this world and I can take you out. Well, this is the vibe at this time. Just like if someone messes with your children, you will kill. Just like a lioness protecting her cubs, you will die. I did a crow call recently and it was titled, These People Are Being Warned to Stop. I also posted a Why Are They Mad for Scorpio energy titled, They are mad because you always know when a motherfucker is lying and now they're crying. And just last night, I posted another crow call, tarot reading titled, They Striked at Midnight. This is confirmation that your enemies who claim to be love and light only but operated in the darkness, the same darkness in which they shun, reject, and demean, but tap into to carry out their evil deeds against you, despite your loyalty ties, your loyal ties to the darkness, they will be suffering starting now. Like I mentioned before, most operate in the light, in the ego, and they love to bully those who appear to be alone, silent, and introverted, only to find out that they done fucked up. Well, now they will be feeling, seeing, hearing, tasting, and smelling. And I mention all of those senses because that's Taurus energy, descendant in Taurus. Taurus is all about the senses. Getting back to this. So they'll be having all of those senses just to realize just how bad they fucked up. The ancestor messages that I posted on Patreon for Aries energy, which Aries rules the first house, the same house that the ascendant is always in. The title of that reading was a mutt. So there was a spirit, a mutt in Egyptian mythology, a mutt. Sickness, devastation for these people, and they are in the chamber of deadly gas. I even saw a skunk the other night. And so I ask you, what is the cure when a Scorpio stings you? What happens when a Scorpio stings you? Because most of you are surface level, ignorant, arrogant, I will answer that question with a surface level response. When stung by a scorpion or a scorpion, pain starts right away. You experience pain, tingling, numbness, jerking of the muscles, very high blood pressure, difficulty breathing, a thick tongue, blurred vision, roving eye movements, seizures, salvation, and difficulty breathing. And since most of you wholeheartedly believe in tropical astrology, you swear it's the new moon in Virgo, which is even worse. Why is that? Because you're only speeding up your illnesses and diseases. Ask me how. Because Virgo rules the sixth house that deals with illnesses, diseases, health, and enemies. If you think the moon is in Virgo, it's clear, according to the descendant in Taurus, being as though Taurus is exalted in the very moon, that you think it's in Virgo. It's very clear that you are the enemy. And back to the ascendant in Scorpio in the first house, again, the first house that Mars, aka Aries, rules, war has commenced. And I don't think your enemies will survive this. And carry on.